I wish I had that resilience. But it's just every little thing that happens. If my groceries aren't delivered, or if they're delivered at 9:30 instead of 9, I'm like, God. God, no, this is not happening to me.
What's up, y'all? Welcome to Fellowship. I'm excited today. This is the first episode. This is the premiere, something I've been working on. I am Rece, and I have on the couch some amazing people that I love, and I love them dearly. And what better way to start a premiere in Q4? Q4, where everything is kind of winding down. We're stepping into the new year. And I just thought I'd bring three amazing ladies to kind of share their perspectives, understand what their year looked like, and then we can go from there. Honestly, this is unscripted. Y'all are gonna see some. We might be eating on the couch, whatever. The food today is sponsored by SRC Kitchen, by the way. Just wanted to let y'all know that.
Spoiled Rotten Catering.
All day. So yeah. What's up, y'all?
Hey.
What's up?
How y'all doing?
I'm blessed.
There we go. Oh, first of all, I didn't even introduce these wonderful women. You have Roselyn. This is actually my little cousin.
Hi.
You have Nana from Ghana, aka a Coast.
Not my government name.
Yes, your girl. This is my sister right here. And then you have, last but not least, Courtney, who is not from Texas. She's from Jersey. But I mean,
East Coast.
She fits in. That's my girl right there. Lady, how are y'all doing?
I'm good. I'm fed.
You
okay,
fed?
girl.
Okay. Did you like the movie?
I did. I'm good and I'm fed. I'm happy. So yes.
Yes. But first of all, I'm so glad y'all are here because the first one means a lot. I really don't know what to expect, but we're just gonna let it flow. And I mean, this is really y'all's couch. I'm just here. I'm just listening. I'm just looking. So get comfy. You need to refill your glass. Go do that. You need some banana pudding. There's some in the fridge. Do whatever you need to do. What's up?
I ain't even gonna hold you. Houston. Houston. I love my city, and sometimes I feel like, do I need to step out to get a better perspective of what's going on inside? Because when it comes to 2023, I know people want be humble. Like 2023 was amazing. Like I have to compartmentalize and say, personal-wise, it was this. Work-wise, it was this. And then life-wise, give a general synopsis. But 2023, I have this little booklet that I keep called Dreams to Reality. And everything I wrote from my lips to God's ears, God did, you know? So I can't even lie and say like, it's been rough. I've lost people this year. We lost someone last month. And granted, like you said, Q4 is winding down. This is when depression hits me like a ton of bricks. But other than that, work was good. I'm not pregnant. Anybody's raggedy ass son?
Who made it in 2023 without being pregnant?
I made it.
Who made it without being pregnant?
But not Condola. That was rude. Actually, I liked her character. But yeah, it was a good year. And I have to remain on that positive track to try to end it because it's very easy to succumb. As we were talking about grippy
Summer Vacations?
Yes. You remember Seattle?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it was rough.
Seattle, I feel like that was just like yesterday.
Yeah.
You know, working for Microsoft and then like how
You can say it.
Pivoting from Seattle to Houston. What was that? Like, I guess at what point in your life did you feel like, okay, this was the time, like I needed to leave here?
I felt like I was coming back into shame because y'all threw me this like bomb ass party in 2015. Oh, so I don't like surprises. I don't like surprise parties. I don't like being around a lot of people unless they're my friends. And unfortunately, my friends, Wando left, they coordinated a surprise party at the twins' apartment off of Westheimer. And I was, when I say depressed in a funk, my sister was like, hey, the twins want to hang out. And I was like, for what? They're like, it's a pool party. And I was like, whatever. At least I don't have to shower. I can just get in the pool. No, that was dead ass my thoughts. So I get into the house and all my friends are like, surprise, Anna, we're waiting. We're so excited for you to go to Microsoft. And I just burst into tears. And my friends were sitting close. I didn't even use deodorant. And I kept saying that. And it was like, just taking pictures like this. Like this.
I still, when you call, there's a picture of us when you were like in tears.
Yeah, I know.
And I'm just cheesing, and I had braces at that time. And that's whenever you call, that picture pops up. And it's like my favorite picture because she really hates surprises. But we felt like, especially with her, she doesn't, celebrate herself enough. So moving forward in 2023, I feel like she celebrated herself way more. Whenever you see people like that you've known for years and just the way, their growth, you're like, why don't y'all throw a party for yourselves? Like, you've done a lot. And I mean,
it's hard though.
Yeah.
It's hard sometimes to celebrate yourself. Like, because I know for me, I've always feel like I got more to do and I'm not done yet.
Yes.
You know what I mean? I don't want to celebrate right now because I'm still thinking about the next thing or how I'm supposed to better this. Yes, there's accomplishments and I feel good about them, but part of me feels like if I spend too much time just like, yeah, I'm great, I'm amazing, I'm going to miss the boat for my next opportunity or something like that. And so, I mean, it's an internal battle. I definitely, go through that, but I feel you. People do need to celebrate themselves more, but it's hard to do. It's really hard,
You know what? You're right, Courtney. Because to be honest with you, I just started learning how to properly celebrate myself.
Right.
She been celebrating since 2011. 2010. Don't do that.
Y'all don't be in the house with me.
Always got
y'all don't be sitting in the house with me.
You always have something to celebrate, though.
No.
And it's beautiful. It's beautiful. So.
But you know what I do? Honestly, why I celebrate is because really not for me, so that others can do it for themselves.
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
I ain't caught on.
Okay. And I'm honestly telling y'all that even though it may look like I always celebrate, a lot of the stuff that I do is really for people, not necessarily for people to like accept me or anything like that, but so that you can learn how to celebrate yourselves. Because to be honest with you, celebrating yourself is a whole sport. It is a whole sport, honestly. Like I didn't think that even this right here, like, yes, it's a celebration. And I told myself when I get home, I was like, yeah, you need to, like, even if it's a glass of wine or something, taking yourself out to eat tomorrow, it's a milestone. I feel like when it comes to celebrations as well, especially as women, we have to wait till something big happens before we actually celebrate ourselves, which I think needs to change for next year. We need to be on some stuff where it'll be the littlest thing. The littlest thing. Go get your nails done. Go get your eyebrows done. Like, we always have to wait till like it hits a certain capacity. What if it doesn't get to that capacity that we're looking for in that season? Like, are we going to continue to keep waiting? I don't know, like, how to explain it, if that makes sense to you guys.
No, it does. It does. Okay, but when you put it that way, then I kind of do see where some women do celebrate themselves. At least now I can finally say, like, okay, I am a slightly bit a part of that. Because any little thing could happen, and I'm gonna buy something. I'm gonna buy something. I deserve it. Treat yourself. You feel me?
Treat yourself.
Treat yourself.
No, seriously.
But that's within my own world. Like, I'm treating myself, and I know it's making me feel good. But I do feel like sometimes, like, especially with the world of social media, sometimes I don't want to be that person that's just like, look at me, I'm so successful. I got this job. I did this project. I did da-da-da-da-da.
But do you think that because you have an audience, you don't feel the need to celebrate yourself?
No, it might just be like a little weird. Like, some people aren't really just open to that type of energy.
Since when did we start putting a cap on our celebration because of the insecurities of others? Because that's what it sounds like.
With the internet.
Because that's what it sounds like.
That's exactly what it is.
Because here's the thing. people are always going to feel some type of way.
Okay.
No matter how you celebrate yourself, there's always going to be a problem. Because honestly, some people are in their homes and they are uncomfortable and they're not happy and they can't truly decipher what's going on in their lives. So they feel like, you know what? And my grace and my mercy goes to them too, because, you know, we've all been at a place where we're like, damn, like, do I got next? Can you put me in a game, coach? Like, but I feel like we have to stop putting a cap at our celebrations because other people have internal insecurities. Who are we celebrating for, us or them? That's all I'm saying.
That's a question that needs answered.
So I'm not gonna lie, social media had, and I want to thank God that we were in school when we were in school, and we only had access to Twitter, and very small amounts of Facebook and Instagram, because what I see my nieces and stuff going through, I'm like, why my niece got a 30-inch bust now too? For who?
That part.
So this celebration that we're doing outwardly, like it's for that. It for them is for the audience. For me, like you said, one thing about me, I'm gonna treat myself.
I'm gonna treat
myself.
I deserve
privately.
it, but I don't have to post it or nothing.
That's the thing.
You don't have to, but
and I don't have to make a big party out of it either. Like sometimes I want to. And then after sitting down and like kind of breaking everything up, I'm just like, it's not even that deep. Let me go do this for myself.
But even if you post it, what does the desire of celebrating yourself change?
No, it doesn't. It's just no urge.
Okay.
I'm not gonna lie, the African auntie me, and I feel like she creeps out a little bit more.
We all have those remnants. We have those remnants of those African aunties in us.
I don't want someone preying on my pictures and saying, look at her. Yeah, she's doing this, and she thinks she's somebody, and she thinks she's cute.
Yes.
And that might not even be the case, because let's be clear, what you put out into what your thoughts become your reality. So why am I thinking that that's what's happening? That might not even be the case. Let me just assume everybody's like, damn, Nana has such a fat ass. I wish I had a great personality like fat ass. Oh my God. I'm done, y'all.
I mean, it's about, I feel you though, because it's a part of it is protecting your energy too. It's like you could be doing good things and want to post that just because that's just what I feel like posting today. But there may still be those people sending you the evil eye. I know me, I could feel it. Like when my ear ring and somebody talking about me, you know, like.
You can feel it. You be in the same room with the people. And they will smile in your face.
Yeah, that's
but
scary.
You can feel it's really nasty. I don't understand it, but like I understand where y'all are coming from. I just feel as though as long as your heart is also in the right place, like I'm very big on like your heart. Like it's a heart posture thing for me. If I'm celebrating myself because I genuinely want to, I'm not really concerned with the outside.
But you always been good at that, Rece.
Not always.
2008, I was minding my blessed business. Rece came into the comments, like, my name is Clarice. And we're like, who's this loud African girl? But no, you've always been authentically yourself in a way that, not that I envy, but that I admire. And I'm like, wow, I wish I could just be who I am regardless of who's in the room. Not even like, it's not that you don't read your audience. It's that you showed up authentically you. And take it or leave it. That's just who you were.
Very unapologetic about it. Just
is
it.
I don't know. Maybe it's the African in me. I really don't. I don't know, because I mean, I have this conversation with my cousin all the time. I just be living my life. But I mean, I will tell y'all this. That was also not always me, because I'm the oldest of three, and the pressures of being the oldest child. And then the first daughter.
And then honestly, us growing up, you was the first cousin.
Okay.
Yeah. You had a lot.
So I was the oldest, not just of my siblings, of them. And then pretty much I counted all of them as my siblings because we all grew up together. And so the pressures of like, you know, being the best, being number one, making sure you finish college, all these different things. I took those roles not because somebody asked me to, but I felt like I had to. So it's like, okay, celebrate yourself, but are you doing it because you want to make these people proud, or is it for Clarice? I had to discern the two.
Mm-hmm.
So I've not always been like that. And I honestly didn't learn how to be like that until I would say my 30s when I turned 30. And I was like, well, honestly, I think I started that like right after I graduated from college. I just unapologetically was like, and it started honestly with my parents. Anybody knows if you have immigrant parents, the pressures of like doing everything by their will, you know, not God's will, their will.
Their will.
So it can be very, very gut wrenching. I've not always been like that. Believe it, I had to learn how to be like that.
Okay, well, you hit it well.
Yeah, it's called golden child syndrome. Well, that's what my therapist calls it when she talks to me about it, because it sounds pretty familiar of something that I went through too. When you're the golden child, the one that's always expected to succeed, always the one who doesn't have that room for failure.
Yes.
And from outside influences, and it becomes internal within you because that's just how you grew up. You've always been the responsible one, the one that has all the answers, when people lean on, the one that people call when they need something, when they call when they need to vent, the strong one. And you don't realize that your upbringing contributes to that, and it grows into a place until you become an adult and you get to the point where you are and you're like, you know what? I'm gonna start living for me and stop living for everybody else, you know?
What if I told you that I still have to catch myself? Still, like I have to sit and think about it. Like, okay, Clarice, like, was that for you or was that for them? I have to like sit down and be like, okay, I need to discern the two. And then one, like, it's still kind of a struggle.
Yeah.
It's still kind of a struggle because again, like, first of all, I'm pivoting from my career. I started off as a corporate. I've been in the corporate world for like 10 years.
Yeah.
And then so pivoting from there and into a new space, and the new space not necessarily being 100% accepted also by the people that call you the golden child. It can be a bit much. But then I have to also ask myself, are you pivoting for them or are you doing this for you?
Yeah.
You know? So again, sitting there talking to myself, asking myself these questions. And the great thing about it is that helps me actually get through it is that I have a village. Outside of my home, I actually do have a village. I have a tribe that sends me reminders. So I think that me having like, I had to like remove those titles. Golden child, first daughter, first child, because that's a cultural thing.
Yeah.
Titles and seniority matter to them. That does not matter to my calling. They don't align and they don't match. So I have to remember, I have to tell myself these things. But even with that, like, you know, I don't know how y'all's 23 look like, but 23 was a year. It's funny because I was thinking about what I was like, man, what are we gonna even talk about today? And I was like, man, the first thing that came to my mind was throw the whole year away. Do y'all feel that way?
Echo that sentiment?
How do y'all feel about when people say throw the whole year away? Like, what does that even mean?
I can't throw my whole 2023 away. But that first half, she can go. She can definitely go. My personal life was not like how I wanted it at all. I was coming out of a relationship that I wanted like really, really bad, like real bad. And then it was like as soon as my birthday hit, like I want to say like 5 days later, it just clicked. Like, girl, what did you? Let go, let God, stop. All that stressing, the crying, being obsessed over nothing. Leave it alone. And then, as much as I'm sounding like really strong about it, it then took some more months to really like I had to keep reminding myself.
Hammer that
I had to keep reminding myself, like, okay, no, let that go. And the weird thing is, I have noticed that like when my personal life is like it's shit, right? My work life pretty do okay. It does okay.
Let me tell you.
And I'm just waiting for it to like match up. Like, please.
Can I get
homegirls told me not everything's gonna be running in sync. If it's not one, it's something. If it's not this, it's so. When you said, I was like, I hope this didn't affect her work life, and you were like, nope, it didn't affect my. I said, of course it didn't.
It didn't affect my work life at all. I did a great, work was good. Okay, so I'm a teacher.
What grade?
And a cheer coach. I've moved up to high school.
Good.
I'm not staying there though for countless reasons. But the high school itself, not bad. If anybody wants to teach high school, go ahead and try it. But I'm going back down to the middle school level. I was teaching middle school for 5 years.
Girl, middle school is a bunch of musty fifth graders.
Huh?
Middle schoolers are musty fifth graders, but okay.
They were okay. Ooh, one of my coworkers had a really musty student, but I'm gonna shut up. It's not about that. But my favorite grade was the 8th grade. Like they were young enough to still be children, but then slightly mature, like in the high school realm. So I kind of like them. I like them. I was also a cheer coach there. I did really well with that cheer team, and then I moved up to high school. I'm assisting with that cheer team, but. And just everything looked good. Everything looked good. But at home, and that was literally from January 1st to I want to say July.
I was hoping you was gonna stop in June.
Like the end of June. The end of June is when I was officially like, no, I'm not stressing no more. It's either it worked for me or it don't with these men. At this point, either it work or it don't. I'm leaving it alone, okay? Because when I put like a lot into it, and I was really like, it all went to hell, okay? It went to shit, and it's cool. It's cool. I can smile about it now. I laugh about it now. It is what it is now. It is what it is now. But that first half of 2023, mentally, emotionally, can go. About a car though. Work was good. Work was good. Okay. I bought a car. Work was good. But the rest of it can go to hell. Okay. Yeah. And that's real.
No, that's real. That's real. I asked that because I feel like I don't think we like I always hear the term, man, throw the whole year away. You know, especially whenever it's like the last quarter of the year, you see all these memes going about the new year, talking about some throw it away. What's the girl that be going up the steps?
Walking the stairs?
The girl that be going up the steps.
I can't wait to see where she goes this year.
Like, I see so many like memes of her, and I'm just like, especially when it's about to be a new year. And I'm like, you know, nobody wants to talk about, and maybe this would be a challenge for y'all, but nobody wants to talk about how, honestly, when you want to throw the whole year away, you have to remember, what did you pray for? What did you ask for in the year before? Like, because here's the thing, I asked you that because, like, you know, you can be like, oh, I want financial freedom, and then you have no bread in the next like month, the next 2 months. It's always going to be the opposite of stuff that you asked for. But like, why is it that, you know, why I understand why people want to throw the whole year away. I don't have an issue with you saying that, but I also need us to remember, what did we pray for? We need to do we need to do a character evaluation as well, because sometimes those years are exactly what we needed to remove those layers and that character that we had. Sometimes we had character flaws. I mean, I don't know how y'all feel about that.
No, I completely agree with the character part. There were a lot of things that I had to grow out of this year as well.
That you didn't even know you had to grow out of.
I had no idea. I have no idea. And I'm still growing out of it. I still think about it like to this day. And when I'm interacting with like just various people, just all the stuff that I used to go through now, before, I'll like check myself on. So just, you know, make sure I'm saying the right things, doing the right things, and of course presenting the best part of myself to everybody, and also being authentic with it. So it definitely, I can't remember like what all I prayed for before, because I'm not as strong in my prayer. But I do know I'll be doing it.
Yeah.
Some of us need to look back at what we prayed for, at why our year is going the way it is. Not saying because your year is bad that you did not pray for good things. That's not what I'm saying. But it's just from what I see, at least based on my year, I'm speaking for myself. Based on my year, so many things. First of all, 2022 and 23 is like black and white. It's totally black and white. It's two different scenarios because, like I said, y'all, my whole career had shifted. A total pivot from work to finances to just life in general. And it's new. it is very, very new. So I had to ask myself, well, what did I ask for? What did I pray for that is
Manifesting in this way.
manifesting it this way in a way that I didn't want? Because typically people say throw the whole year away because they were disappointed, because they didn't get what they want. But I mean, or it didn't pretty much go the way that they wanted.
Usually. But I want to ask you guys something. Do you guys plan this New Year resolution thing that people do at the end of the year? Oh, I pray that this is gonna happen. I'm planning my life from now till June. I'm gonna have so amount of money in my account, and at the end of the day, nothing happens.
100%.
I made a vision board last year.
Get a thingy out my car. I'll bring. Can I?
Go ahead.
Yeah, I'll be right back.
The thing, like with what she said, I feel like a lot of us have done that, where we have looked at. We've all wrote down something that we wanted for ourselves. We do vision board parties and things like that. We start like putting stuff on a board, posting it. We look at it every day. Okay, that's going to be the thing. January 1st. We love to declare every year is going to be our year. And what if that year is opposite? What if it's opposite of what we actually planted for ourselves? I don't typically like to, let me just say this. I'm still working on this, but I know that having like New Year's resolutions and praying for things in advance, eventually it would discourage me. It would discourage me. I'm gonna keep it 100. It would discourage me because I feel like that's not what I prayed for. That's not what was on my board. Yeah. And I feel like if I do declare these things, maybe my hopes get too high.
Yeah.
And so therefore, I'm like, I shouldn't have anything to look forward to. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Exactly. I shouldn't expect it.
I pray for I know whenever I want something, like I definitely do tell like God what I want. I do. I say it because I am definitely somebody who believes in the power of words, like what you say to people, what you speak on yourself. Yeah. I do tell God what I want, but I also do follow it with God, let it be your will. Okay. And let it also let me accept, because as you were asking, I kind of remembered in this moment, like the certain things that I did pray for the previous years, and kind of what I continue on praying for is let me accept if it's not. So even though this is what I want, and I be wanting it hard, even though this is what I want, I still want your will, and then help me accept the fact that it might not be.
Do we really want His will,
girl?
Look, if the Lord wants it for me, I already know whatever He wants is good for me, so I want it
100%. And I agree with you, and I know that for me in 23. When I'm like, oh, Lord, I just want your will. Oh, I just want this. I just want that. And it actually went opposite of what I wanted. I ain't gonna lie, my faith kind of dwindled.
You're going to have to pray for acceptance.
That
was me praying for acceptance.
This year and last year.
It's weird because we be chalking it up, but I don't know, talking to you always feeds my... So she asked, do we make plans? Remember when I left to Seattle, my mom was sick. And I remember praying and fasting and doing everything I was supposed to do. And I said everything I'm supposed to do. What are we supposed to do? I came to Houston on the 9th of November, 2015. I remember we got our first bonus, one of our first quarterly bonuses, $10,000. It was $9,556.18 because they took taxes off. And I remember looking back and my mom was struggling to breathe because cancer sucks. And I remember vividly because I prayed for that. I remember when I was 16, I said, I want to make 6 figures without getting a doctorate. Guess what? I was doing that in 2015. And then a cousin that I met serendipitously, my mom told me, oh, hey, since you are in DC, go see your cousin Sophie. I went and saw my cousin Sophie for the first time, never met her. This is my mom's eldest brother's child. Sophie's old enough to be my mom. Kicked it with her. And Sophie was like, hey, Akos, so I'm going to be flying to Seattle. I'm going to see you shortly. And I picked her up on the 14th. So I left Houston, got to Seattle that weekend. I picked her up on the 14th. Hung out with Sophie in Seattle on the 15th. On the 16th, I was in Sophie's hotel room and I'm like, so what happens? Like, do people get better? Do people get healed and stuff? And she was like, cancer is really weird. Some people make a miraculous recovery. Some people go from healthy and then that's it. And on the 17th at 1:24 a.m., I said, we're going to breathe in the healing, breathe out the cancer. And Lord, whatever you do, I know I always quoted Romans 8:28. At 5:45 a.m., I woke up getting myself ready to go to work. And I had 8 missed calls. I had 3 missed calls from Sophie. And I was like, y'all got I got a sick parent, this shit not funny. And the pastor in Seattle said, hey, Nana, can we talk? I need to talk to you. I was like, sir, I'm getting ready to go to work, but okay. Came to my apartment and he was like, we need to talk at my house. I was like, I know I work remote sometimes and I can baby, but I can't do that right now. And he was like, he took my phone from me and I was like, okay, whatever. And then he told me what he told me. And they're like, it turns out at 3:24 a.m., your mom passed away. And I said, no, because 3:24 a.m. is 1:24. That's around the time I went to sleep. That's the time I finished my meditation. And I said, Lord, whatever you do, I accept it. So no, accepting the Lord's will, it was fuck that nigga on blood. And when I say fuck that, I'm talking about God. I was good on him. So when she asked, do you make plans? I stopped making plans. Do I talk to him? And sometimes I don't even know if God do I talk to God? I be talking to God. But do I sit here and I make plans for myself? I can tell you that, I have everything I've written down. You see, I've been crossing. I have everything I've written down upside down, Bible verses and all that stuff. I've written it down. This is the couch. This is the couch that is sitting in my living room right now. I wrote it down and I sketched it out. But do I make plans? No. Because I made plans for her to be better so I can eat Thanksgiving. I made plans so that when I get this check, I can pay for her, my dad, and AJ for us to go to Ghana. I made plans. And I feel like I just stopped because it was fuck that nigga on blood. And God, I know you're like, oh, she's mad right now, but she'll be fine. This is the time of year. It all comes back.
First, this is what I was telling this one right here. It's the type of year that I had. It makes me not want to make plans because if you are especially if it's a year that's opposite of what you actually wanted, you could have I said 2023 was going to be the year of all years, and good things happened this year. I'm not going to sit here and say all bad things happened. Good things happened this year. However, I also was like, man, I'm scared to make a plan. I'm scared to expect disappointment again. Yeah. And, I always did, but I did, as I reflect on 2023, I think about the good things that did happen. So it's like, can I still be hopeful? Can I still have joy? Can I still have peace? Can I still say, you know what? There is more to come. Can I still declare that? And it's like, okay, yeah, I can. But I was like, I actually can do that. Yeah. I actually can do that. But again, it makes, can we still make plans? Yeah, and here's the thing. There's nothing wrong with making plans. We have to be okay with how he orders our steps. Yeah. And it's not going to be in the order that we want. Because you know how we make plans. It's kind of like, how every day we wake up, we're getting ready for work. Mm-hmm. We get up, we brush our teeth, take a shower, whatever, get ready for work, and then we go. That's the same order every day. We want an order like that where we know the plans. We're in charge, we're in control. But that's not every year. There's some things that especially if you're asking, you're praying for things. Oh Lord, you do your will. He's literally going to do just that. Yeah. And he will leave your will out of it. He will leave your plans to the side.
Yeah, most of the time it's not what you want.
No.
I can relate to
It's not what
what
you
she
want.
experienced because I lost my dad when I was 8, and I remember sitting in that church and my aunties, my uncles, and everybody's telling me, this is all a part of God's plan, and thinking that that's supposed to make me feel
That's
better.
like the most horrible thing to tell someone that's grieving. I don't know why people say that.
I don't know, but for a long time, I was just as angry, and I was like, I didn't understand. I'm just like, well, if this is God's plan, why am I being punished? I'm only 8 years old. I'm a kid. Like, you took my dad. I was so mad. I was so upset. And that's one of the things, even looking back on this past year, I've gotten deeper within my faith and rediscovering what my faith actually is, and it had been, over 20 years since I had stepped foot in a church, but not stepped foot in church because I've been to church, but like,
Intentionally,
really yeah, exactly. So I definitely get that. I wouldn't say throw the whole year away.
Just pieces of it.
Just
go ahead, take a little chunk.
little pieces of it.
Little chunk and go.
I always try to find like the lessons and the L's that I have to take. Coming out of 2022, like I was heartbroken. I was really sad, and not just like within my failed relationship, but I lost my grandfather too, who became my dad after my dad had passed. So not only am I grieving, a family member, I'm grieving a relationship, and I was just really sad.
Talk about that, grieving a relationship.
Man,
girl. Talk about that.
And even as I
one you really want, I wanted it. I'm okay now, but I did.
Girl, it's okay not to be okay. Because sometimes I'm not.
I really am fine. But it's like sometimes I don't like to talk about how much I really wanted it.
Yeah.
That'd be the part I be trying to breeze over.
It's kind of embarrassing though sometimes, right?
Yeah.
I really wanted this to work.
I'm fine now. I'm finally able to say I really wanted it.
And see, when you get to that place, you can have hope.
Yeah.
When you get that's why I love what you said, because I feel like there's a time for everything.
Yeah.
There's a time for everything. There's a time for sadness. There's a time for joy. There's a time for tears. There's a time for everything. But we can still have hope.
Yeah.
Because there's always I feel like there's always joy in the morning. There's always joy in the morning. Like
there's always something to look forward to. Like, because things really just don't be going the way you want it. So of course, do your part, grieve how you want to, take as much time as you need as well. Like I'm never one to just like rush the grief, whatever it is, feel it. Like feel all the emotions. Because at the end of the day, you don't want to come back to it because it might even hit you worse. So let's feel it. Let's take our time. Let's be in it. Something good is coming, and that's. And it don't have a time frame either. So it might be a minute, but just know, like, be hopeful in the fact that something good is coming. Because it'll be trash if you just like, I need it tomorrow. It'll come when it comes. I'm learning, like, I don't really have control over a lot.
Yeah,
I don't have control over a lot. So I really just control what I can and not really accept what's given, but it's just like I can't fault myself for it. I can't fault those around me, like unless it's really somebody that caused this for real. But if it just so happened, life really be lifing. Life really just happens, and I can't control a thing. As much as I want to. I want to real bad.
No, I think that's one of the lessons that I learned this year is that I don't have control over anything. You know?
What do you have?
So
if it's not control, then what? And this, it's so easy for me to spiral into negativity. Y'all don't let that happen. Like, don't let me talk shit like I'm a sad bitch. Nah, this is a bad bitch talking right now.
Right.
So what do we have then if we don't have control?
You don't have control, but you know what you do have control over? Your response.
And your peace.
You have control
your peace,
of your response. And here's the thing. A wise man once told me, joy is a choice. Happiness is a choice. If you choose to wallow in your agony, that's a choice. Because no one's going to make you and tell you need to be sad. This is a moment of grief. This, no, it's a choice, And here's the thing. You can be sad.
Yeah.
It's okay to not be okay.
Yeah, you can choose that. That's fine.
But you don't have to dwell in it. Don't make it your dwelling place. Of course I have my moments of being pissed off, angry, sad. Who doesn't have those moments? But if there's one thing I know, you will get tired of it. One day you just wake up and be like, I'm done. I'm tired. You get tired of being sick and tired, but even with that, like, because I think you mentioned something about you don't want to revisit something. Here's the thing though. And because back to when people say throw the whole year away, like, don't you think a part of me feels like you should revisit it? I say that because sometimes we're running away from challenges and issues that will eventually catch up to us in the next year. Some of us wonder why our year sucks, or the years as we keep going sucks. Honestly, because we haven't revisited those things that we haven't forgiven. A lot of us haven't forgiven ourselves, forgiven our past, and they will chase after you faster than you left it. So I know for me, I had to forgive myself. I had to forgive a lot of things, because people think it's just forgiving people. No. I feel like revisiting those certain circumstances actually helps you. When you can face that challenge in the face, you are building character.
Yeah.
I mean, for me, I feel like you should revisit it. I know that some people don't feel like they should.
I think when I said you don't want to like revisit it, I mean like revisit it in a negative space.
Okay.
Like I feel like in order to, when you do revisit it, you want a clear mind. You want to be able to, assess like how you felt in that moment. Like you just don't want to address it negatively, is what I'm saying. That's about it.
Yeah. No, that makes sense. Like, I feel like
where you're back feeling those emotions that you tried to suppress before. Whereas instead, now it's like, okay, I'm coming back to it. I'm now able to see it in a different light. I can even learn from
it takes time. It does. It does take time.
But sometimes if it's a negative thing and a negative memory, that's just what it's gonna be. And every time I'm thinking about it, I'm pissed again. But
you might be able to also like in you being upset, you might now be able to make like a little light joke about it. Like, okay, it was still fucked up. But I'll move on before I get real mad. But it was
real mad.
Yeah.
Real big
so
mad.
that's all I mean. Like, because I understand, like, yes, you might still be upset. It may still hurt you. And whatever it is was negative. So it does make sense that you will feel negativity, but at least you won't fall back into that space before. Like, really be in it so that you don't have to be there anymore.
Yeah. I try not to, like, I think of it, somebody told me this, like, think of some of those thoughts or those things as like passing clouds in the sky. Like, you look at it, you acknowledge, you're like, oh, that's a negative thought. Yeah, that sucks. But then let it go.
Yeah, exactly.
And move on to the next thought, move on to the next thing. And don't let those clouds passing the sky become like hurricanes and tornadoes and so you start to spiral.
This is reminding me of like those cartoons with that one single cloud that's raining on you that follows you. You don't want that. You want it to be a passing cloud.
Let him pass. You see it, you're like, oh, yeah, that sucked. All right. And then keep it moving.
I hear you and I feel y'all, but I know for the years that cloud just felt like it would not go. It was because of the people on the outside who kept calling. When I tell you, my partner here called and called and called. This is back when I had an Android and I did not know of Do Not Disturb. And I would just watch my phone ring and be like, I have no good news to tell her. And I'll just let it ring. Then when you asked how I was moving back to Houston, I felt like a dog coming back with the tail between the legs. Like, I felt ashamed. I felt scared. And everybody in Houston breathed this sigh of relief. Like, okay, you're okay. We just wanted to make sure that you're okay. And I was like, oh, but y'all are not successful no more. They're like, girl, but you're still alive. And I'm like, yeah, but I don't have a job. And they're like, yeah, but you're still Nana. And I'm like, yeah, but I'm Nana with a hole in me. They're like, yeah, but that's what we're here for. And I'm like, oh. So that cloud didn't pass because of me. My cloud passed because of everybody who kept pulling me outside of the circumstance I felt I was in. Yeah, your joy is a choice. It is. But sometimes it feels like God, when it comes to dealing cards, they just give you this one.
It's always a wild card.
Shake it, shake it. And I'm like, okay. In retrospect, it's like, wow, no, that shit was rough. Good for you, baby girl. But while it was happening, it was trenches.
Mm-hmm.
It feels permanent.
It felt very,
it feels
very
permanent
permanent
when you're there. It just feels so permanent. And then we got to also understand there was challenges years before that, y'all. A lot of us didn't even realize, like, okay, U of H. Back in school, like, we didn't even realize the challenges that we had. We were just literally just moving.
I wish college I was resilient days, like that.
If I had the mind that I had in college as an adult, I can breeze through anything.
Oh, easy.
I can breeze through anything.
Like what? Give me an example.
Right.
Please, we have too many.
I know. So Rece's 21st birthday was a beautiful disaster. A friend lost his job at the towers. Someone got alcohol poisoning. Someone threw up in someone's car. It was a raggedy ass night from head to toe. Raggedy. And guess what? That friend is an engineer. Guess what? Another friend is an entrepreneur. Guess what? Another friend
is at Rice doing his MBA.
So what happened in that moment is we took all the bags. Okay, we just need to hurry up and clean the car. Okay, throw up's cleaned up. And then what happened next? We were like, okay, he's at the hospital, designated driver on deck. And I'm like, all right, guys, we're going to get to the hospital safely. 4 drunk passengers. Man, my nigga Sydney, y'all look like Sydney kids. Y'all look like Sydney kids. And I'm like, y'all are really annoying.
We were so...
Are you Sydney's kid?
I'm assuming.
Okay.
Yeah.
You know, I honestly speaking, like Nana said, and there's so many other things after, even during that too. But I feel like in college, we were just moving like we didn't have no parents.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
We were just moving like we had no parents.
Moving very mad.
Moving very, what they call moving mad?
We were moving very mad.
Like, we were just moving madly. But we were like, okay, our thoughts were not, oh man, we can't wait to graduate. We can't wait to do this. We can't wait to accomplish this. No, we were just moving. Mm-hmm. We were just moving.
And when an obstacle came, we went
over it. It was just, we moved. Let's fix it. Go to the next one.
And like, okay, I had 2 other roommates, and that when we eventually lived off campus, we had no money to pay rent. Wow. We had no money to pay rent. And guess what we would do? Get up and be like, yo, we going to happy hour? We would get up and go. And our rent was still paid. I don't know how.
Miraculously.
I don't know how. But it would always get done. We were never worried. We were just never worried. If I had that thought process as a 20 and 21-year-old now in my 30s, I would probably breeze through. I would fly through years. Mm-hmm. Fly through them. But I think the difference is that I have responsibilities.
Yeah, real responsibilities.
Real responsibilities. It's a level of independence that you have. You have your parents, but you don't have your parents. Mm-hmm. You know, some of us, our parents ain't paying our bills. I know that time my parents was. And that's not happening right now, you know, but like, I feel like in our 30s, you know, our perspective is just different. Our perspective is super, super different. Now that I'm going into the new year, like, y'all, things excite me, like buying toilet paper, making sure all the toilet paper, all the paper towels, making sure I have sharp knives in my kitchen. Like, all those things matter to me versus, dang, y'all going to that party? Y'all going to
the triad?
Y'all going to, oh Lord. Ugh. Like, seriously, like like now I'm thinking about stuff and I'm like, wow, I didn't even know that would even matter. Things I used to get mad at my mom for doing repeatedly and telling me to go do repeatedly. Now that matters to me right now. That matters a lot to me. So I just feel like that just, I don't know. But also, there's a level of, I don't know how y'all feel like in this last year, there's a level of gratefulness, Thanksgiving, that hits different than it was the year before. In my 20s, y'all, everything worked. When I say everything worked, because I was more so in control in my 20s. You know, I reflect on my 20s all the time because I'm like, man, all these things worked out for me. What about in my 30s that life is really lifing and I just can't seem to get everything like, well, I can't seem to have everything just stand in one place. I don't know. I can't seem to have things in order. But I feel like in my 20s, not that I wasn't grateful, but I think that because I was so engulfed with Clarice that I didn't really know how to be thankful for the small things. So in my 30s, and what I told myself moving on in 2024 is that I want to, for every small thing, even when I wake up, just say thank you. Just say thank you because, I mean, y'all, like, even, let's be real, some of us didn't even know we was going to get to this age. We like, you know how we were 18 years old. You always had those thoughts, man, what am I going to be like when I'm 30? What is it going to be like when I'm 31? But you really didn't even know that you were going to, like, not that you thought you were going to pass on, but, you know, you just did not know. Well, that's real. You just did not know that, you know, you were going to be at this age, be in the position that you're in with the careers that you have and all these things and have like real responsibilities. I don't know what I thought my 30s was going to be. I don't know. I don't know what I thought it was going to be.
Girl, we were just talking about this earlier. We thought we was going to be married at 25 with kids.
27.
I said 26.
26.
I said married at 26, 2 children by 29.
Yes.
Oh yeah, you count all these things up. And it's just that, but that just shows y'all how immature.
Yeah.
How immature that not, and it's not a bad thing to write these things for yourself. It's not a bad thing, but it just goes to show you how like we really think that there's an order. We have our own mindset of what a timeline looks like. So to say that 2023 went the way that I thought it would be, absolutely not. It did not go. You know, you said you had a great year. My year, I feel like it was like someone ripping the hell out of somebody's wig off their head.
Was it glued in the front or was it just a...
Absolutely glued in the front and the back.
I
A 360.
The edges
A
got
360 wig. The edges got snatched and the nape got snatched.
Dang.
not just an
Yes.
elastic band. Okay.
Yes.
It
And
don't
no matter how
move.
much oil you put, it don't matter how much oil you put on them edges, they don't want to grow back.
That's
They don't want to grow back. That's how bad it was. That's how bad it was. But guess what? If I can get through that with no edges, and this is a metaphor, by the way, guys. This is not. I have edges.
Yeah, you got edges.
Shoot. If you can get through the year with no edges, no nape, no eyebrows, like if you can get through the year like that, it just goes to show you can have hope. You can have hope for your new year. I tell people all the time, declare every year be your year because you just never know. You mentioned earlier words. You have speaking, like I've been learning that a lot this year is that words do matter. Words matter a lot. You know, you speak life, you sit at the table of victory. You speak death, you sit at the table of just agony. Like you have to choose, again, it's a choice. Which table do you want to sit at? It's just like, you know, when you were in high school, you want to sit at the popular kids table, you want to sit at the losers table. Like it's a choice. It's literally a choice. You know, I told myself like, okay, you want to have a good day? What are the things that you need? What are the tools or the resources you need to have a good day?
Yeah.
Even if you don't have those tools and resources, what do you have now?
Yeah.
What do you have now? Use what you have now to have that good day. And that's kind of how I've been living by, y'all. Words matter a lot to me right now. Like I'm talking about, y'all, like this year alone, I was in too many fetal positions. Too many, because when you're starting something new and you're doing new things, it hurts. People be like, "Oh, Happy New Year." Is it really happy? Is it really happy when you're, because we love new things, you know, in corporate America, you know, the change management. Organizational change management. They talk about it all the time. If you're a project manager, if you've ever been on a scrum team, whatever. We always go to the client. I think it's funny because we go to the client and we always prepare them for change. And they're always like, no, we need this button to do this, or we need this to do that. This stakeholder isn't going to like that because our money is on it. And I had to like use that for real life. Like in my real life, I'm like, dang, I sound like a stakeholder. I sound like the client.
You are your stakeholder.
You are your stakeholder. You don't like change.
I don't.
You don't like change. And I'll be the first one to be like, oh, I love it. I want to know what's happening. I want to be able to change the whole scenario and rewrite the whole book. I want to be the author and the finisher, if I'm being real.
Even though I've accepted that I don't control a thing, I still don't like change.
I feel like that's how I'm going to go into this new year coming up with like.
That's weird. Keep going. I'm thinking, it's like, how do you know this? I'm sorry. Let me shut up.
I would rather, because I feel like last year I made a vision board. I put a house on it. I put some quotes and things. I did check some things off of my vision board. Not everything.
Yes.
But some of it. But outside of like the physical and tangible things that I wanted in my life, internally, I had to have a conversation with myself. It's like, all I want this next year is just to heal. I just want to feel better, you know? And I think I wrote that in my journal, and having that in the back of my mind is like, you know, I'm not looking for like physical rewards throughout my year. Like, even though I had still had that on my vision board, but like internally, I just wanted to feel better. Yeah. Whatever. You
just wanted a break.
Yeah, but I think because I left it so like open-ended, I allowed myself to experience new things and different things that I didn't plan for. You know, it's like whether it's like going on this trip, taking this job, working with this person, you know, eating at this restaurant, just these little things that I thought was going to make me just heal and feel better. Yeah. But it wasn't like, okay, well, I'm going into this new year thinking like, okay, I have to go on 50 first dates. Whoever the hell, I made that up. Nobody really wants to do that. Nobody wants to do that.
Yeah, I was going to get up.
Oh.
Thank you.
It's up to you.
But I think I want to do the same thing again going into 2024 is like not focus on like the tangible things that I want in my life, whether that's a new job or, you know, this amount of money in my savings account or whatever, but more so focus on how do I want to feel next year and let that inform the decisions I'm going to make going into the next year.
That's nuts. I took the polar opposite. I said, God, in this life, I'm coming to enjoy. In this life, I'm coming to chop. The way I came and made myself a second plate of rice, that's what I'm coming to do in this life. Mm-hmm. Because a lot of what I've been feeling is because of what happened in 2015 and how I didn't feel it. I didn't allow myself to feel it for a year. I did not cry for a year. I would just go home and look at the TV and it would be on. And I did not feel it for a year. And then one day, I don't know what happened. It was in like June. Something happened. And then I cried for 3 weeks straight. I ate hot Cheetos for 3 weeks straight. I wore the same dress on the same corner of my couch for wow, it was not good. I didn't feel it. So I said, okay, God, well, since I can't feel good, can I at least have a house? Can I at least get my car paid off? Can I at least get a master's? Can I at least have the tangible things so that I feel like I'm making it in life? Because, thank you. I'm sorry, thank you.
I'm good.
Because if you're not going to let me feel good, then I should at least have
I should have nice things.
I should at least have nice things.
I feel
like, can we bargain, please?
Right.
Like, I have the nice things. You take away my fun times or whatever. I don't know.
That, fine. But can I at least have nice things? And that's like, if you ask anybody what Nana from Ghana Closet look like, any sneaker I want.
It looks like a Nike warehouse.
I have nice things.
Here we go. Because God, if you're not going to let me feel good on the inside, can I at least look good on the outside?
Ooh, do the nice things make you feel good?
For maybe 30 minutes or less.
No. Claim it because you look good now. And I feel like you've been looking and feeling good since you got here. At least.
It was a housewarming gift. Okay. I cannot stop saying that because a housewarming gift for myself. Seriously, I said, I got a new house. I think I deserve a new wig.
You should.
And my sister was like, the garbage disposal don't work. I was like, shut up.
Girl, I still got a bathroom that's under construction and stripped. But guess what? I just bought some Christian Dior boots.
There we
the other
go.
day.
There we
They
go.
were cute.
And I hit Black women's priority. Hey, mind your own priority. As for me and my Christian Dior and me and my wig.
In my unfinished bathroom, that's fine.
Yeah, I have several more bathrooms. I can shit in every bathroom, and I'll still have another bathroom to go use it in. And neither here nor there. But on a serious note, I'm not throwing. When you said the mentality that we had when we were teenagers, well, not teenagers, when we were in college,
Young adults.
I remember at Texas Southern when I transferred there, I said, I'm never going to have a bad day at Texas Southern. I said that to myself. I said, I'm not, just by force. Girl, it was spring semester 2013. On Sunday, Monday, I had food poisoning and I couldn't keep the medicine down. And the doctor had to give me a shot on my bum. I said, all right, that's cool. On Tuesday, Wednesday, I went to school. I had my laptop in my car. It had my essay in it. And I just emailed it to myself so I can edit it on the computer. Someone broke into my 2008 Impala and stole my laptop out of my car. I was crying to my professor. I have my essay. Can I please turn it in? He was like, no, you're fine. Got to turn in my essay late. That was Tuesday, Wednesday. Thursday, Friday, I was like, all right, that's cool. It rained torrentially. I took my older sister to the airport. And then on my way back to school, I got caught in the flood off of when you exit 59 on Richmond and what's it called? 59 is on the overpass.
Sounds about Houston.
Where the old Sears building used to be. My car got caught in the flood to where I got out and I was pushing it and people saw me pushing it and they helped me push it. And then, hey, it was a very, very sad day. That day was a dirty slap. And then I get to school because I had a final and I was like, I'm sorry, my car got caught. Like, I'm drenched. My hair is soaked. And my professor sees me. She was like, you passed. You didn't have to show it for the final.
Oh. And
then I just burst into tears right there.
Oh.
And guess what? Saturday, I was at Belvedere. Yeah. So, I don't know what to tell you. I wish I had that resilience. But it's just every little thing that happens. If my groceries aren't delivered, or if they're delivered at 9:30 instead of 9, I'm like, God. God, no, this is not happening to me. And then what? 9:35, my groceries are here, and I'm like, okay, because I was about to have a bad day, God. And that's how I feel. Like every pain feels exacerbated. That resilience I had it's not gone, but it's diminished, it's dwindling.
I feel like it's work to have resilience now. It's work. Like in college, we didn't have to work. We didn't have to work. Like now we do. Like, because honestly, the difference between college and now is because we actually are, at least some of us, we're realizing what our purpose is.
Yeah.
We figured out what our purpose is, and that's what we're chasing. Then we're just kind of chilling. We're just kind of vibing. Like we're just going with the flow, you know? And now because we have a purpose and we have something that we're actually going after and chasing, and some of us are actually touching it, you know, we're like, okay, how do we retain this now? How do we stay in this? And that's work. Resilience is work.
So I had a question for you. Because you said if you don't feel right in your city, you just dip, and you went from East Coast to West Coast to the third coast. What?
Because people can just get up and go, bro.
I can get up and go
anywhere. People can just get up and go. There are people that are digital nomads. They're like, I don't like this city today.
My younger brother is that, and I admire him so much. But what do you put in your coffee every morning? You say, I'm gonna live in a new city. Like, what do you do?
Yeah, kind of. Well, I feel like it does come back to the way that I was raised. Single. I think you had walked out to the car when I said this, but my dad had died when I was 8. And my mom raised me by herself. She's an artist, tattoo artist, painter, photographer, everything.
She's
arts.
a creative.
She's a creative. And so with that came a nomadic life as a child. Like I went to like 6 different elementary schools. I went to I stayed in middle school, same in 2 different high schools. But we're always bouncing around. And so like that's just been a part of just who I am. I'm always the new girl in school. I'm always having to start over and make new friends. I'm always having to like readjust. So it has become easy in a sense. It's a skill that I would say I have. Looking back, I hated it. And it has its pros and its cons because I think it does allow me to be flexible in just my life and just I can like I'm notorious for quitting a job if I'm not happy. Like just like I quit cities, I'll quit the job. If I don't want to be here, I don't want to be here. You're not about to stress me out. It's not happening. You know? So
show that to first generation kids. They're still trying to figure that out.
Oh yeah, no.
Oh, we should stay here. We're gonna get promoted.
No.
Okay.
If I wake up and I'm stressed about something like abnormally stressed about a job, that job is not for me.
Again, it's a choice. Joy is a choice.
But yeah, I think it's a part of just who I am. I'm a flexible person. I've always been a flexible, and that bleeds into, you know, my friendships and my relationships. Like I will bend over backwards for anybody that I care about, and I will always find the time. I will. This is a bad thing. I think even in my relationships, like I could shapeshift into something.
I feel you.
You know?
I know what you're saying.
It's not the best thing. I'm working on that. But it's also, when I'm working on it, I'm still trying to like find out who am I? What do I enjoy when I'm with somebody else? I don't want to just be your person. You know what I mean? But it's a constant battle because I've always just been just a flexible person. You know? If any of that made sense.
No, it does. It does.
Especially since you gave the context.
I think what I can also take from that is that adapting, you adapt really well. And I feel like going into the new year, and just even with the year that we had, I feel like in some way or form, we have to be able to adapt. No matter what the location is. No matter how bad your year is, no matter how good it was, you have to learn how to adapt. You have to learn how to shift. You have to be okay with change because there are going to be things that you did not sign up for, but you have to be willing to just get up and go. And one thing I also told myself last night too was when you don't want to do it, do it.
What do you mean?
When you don't want to do it, do it. You let that sink in. I say that because the moment that when you don't have the desire to do something, that's the moment that you're actually supposed to do it. Because sometimes there's just resistance. Something good, like not necessarily something good is coming, but I feel like, how can I put it? When you don't want to do it, do it. I feel like, say for instance, you want to, like for instance, this. I didn't want to do this. I'm gonna be real with you. When I first like even felt like I was like, man, I've been sitting on this thing for like almost 2 years. Almost 2 years. I've always said I want to do something where I have a show, we're eating, we're drinking, people can just get up, do whatever they want, people in the background, whatever, we're eating, and we're just having conversations and we're just fellowshipping. And then boom, God gave me the name of it, fellowship. Then I was like, I'm still not gonna do that. You know, I was like, I don't want to do it. And then it came to a point where I'm like, okay, if you don't do this, that's your business. That's your business. If you don't do this, this is not all the things that you have been asking for and the things that you have desired you're not going to be able to see them. Not that what you're not that what you're doing now, you're not blessed. You'll still be blessed, but there'll be limitations.
Yeah.
You'll put a cap at your own. And again, it's a choice. I know the kind of year that I want to have in 2024. So if this didn't happen, that 24 would not be the way that I wanted. If that makes sense.
It does. It does.
I think It's the same thing as when people say jump, just jump. So I think for me for 2024, what I'm trying to do is the moment that I hear, the moment that I feel, yeah, I'm gonna write it down. I'm gonna write it down always, but I'm also going to just do it. And you ever notice whenever you don't do it, the desire never goes away.
It does. It just
never goes away
in your chest.
It just sits in your chest. You start having guilt. You start feeling like, okay, you keep putting it off. You keep thinking, and see, that's the problem with us too. We think time is on our hands. We think that we control time.
Time is the most valuable thing in the world. You don't have.
We don't even know our time. We don't know. We don't know anything.
Mm-hmm.
And that's one thing I told myself. I said, are you going to continue to sit on this desire, or are you actually going to execute? Well, are you actually going to execute? Because the desire never goes away, y'all. It will eat at you. We love giving the devil credit. Man, it's just nothing but the devil's work. I'm in my thoughts again. No, it's just you need to do it.
Yo, that time is not on. I used to get into it with people all the time, and this dude was like, "Time is money. Time is money. Your time is money." I said, "My good friend, I have made money.
Mm-hmm.
Even when I was broke, I was never really broke.
Man,
I have made money. I've made money, but I have never made time.
Mm.
And the regrets I have were not being present and making time for those people. The regrets I have were not picking up the phone to see how she was doing. Those are the regrets I have. My regret wasn't because I saw some Vapor Maxes and I bought them in red, yellow, and then Volt, and then barely Volts. No. That's not my regret. Because guess, after I spent that, something happened. Someone, hey, Nana, can you make me 3 outfits? Boom, boom, boom. 3 outfits made. All that money came back. But the time, I've never made time the way I've made money. And it was, what year was it? Not my 2019, it was the year 2018 when I was starting grad school at Prairie View. I had this green notebook, like every year the notebook changes, but I had this green notebook and I said, God, if there's ever a desire on my heart, I pray that you give me so much unction, so much vim, so much power behind it that I have no choice but to stand up and speak on it. And it started, we were at this apartment complex picking up this little girl who bullies me. Her name is Nana. It's not coincidental. It's actually
she's 3, guys.
She's not. That don't mean 3. She can't see these hands. That's what you don't understand.
She was 3-year-old is bullying.
She was 4. She was 4. She was 4, and she was mean. I picked her up, and I saw someone I recognized from high school that I had not seen in years. And I said to myself, I was like, that ain't her. That ain't her. And in my head, I was like, that's not her. That's not her. And in my heart, it was like, that's her. And I said, Toya, is that you? And she turned around and she was like, who is this? And I was like, it's Nana. I went to Westside with you and also University of Houston. And she came to my car. She was like, girl, what are you doing over here? Like, how did you know? I said, so it was your locks? And when my niece said, oh, hey, very pretty. And I was like, yeah, her hair is pretty. It reminds me of my friend. And she said, if it's your friend, why don't you talk to her? And I was like, so I'm not sure if it's my friend. And also, grown folks mind their business. Have you considered staying in the backseat? And she said, well, I know, but you said she's your friend. So if you're not friends, then don't talk to her. And I was like, all right, God, I got it. And then I spoke to her, and it was her.
It was my friend.
And that year, when recruiters came to PV, and I'm like, God, I have nothing on my resume. Granted, I had a different company on my resume. And I'm like, I really like your sewing. And then, oh my God, girl, yeah, blah, 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 blah. My line sister, oh, your line sister, oh, cool, I'm a part of an organization too. Oh, I'm a Delta. Oh, me too. Came, exchanged numbers with this recruiter, and she's over here trying to put me on. When God puts the desire on your heart, the way it sits on you to where if you don't do it, that guilt will eat you. Rece, I want that resilience. For 2024, I want that resilience that I had to where I had to move when I didn't want to move.
Oh my
because
Lord.
I didn't want to, but I did.
Are there things that you quit this year that you did not want to quit? It don't even have to be a job. Like things that you quit because you knew you had to.
Niggas. But
yeah, that's about it. That's about it. Everything else was. Everything else kind of served me the way it should. You feel me? Yeah.
I ain't quit, niggas. I ain't that strong. I'm still in these streets.
There were some individuals I realized were adding. I used to allow these things to go for like 6 months. Like, just maybe he'll stop being a dumbass bitch in 6 months. Nah, he just continued to be said bitch. And it's gotten shorter and shorter. My patience, my tolerance has gotten shorter and shorter to where if I see it, I stop it. Procrastination is another thing that I quit because it got to a point where my lease is ending in my apartment and I say I want a house. All right, you got a realtor. All right, you've been looking. What's stopping you? And I hate having, if you ever have to consult with God or if you ever say, God, I need a sign. That's you saying I need a sign is your sign.
Signs. He will give us the red light, green light, blue light, yellow light. And we still be like, I need one more.
Just one more.
Just let me see.
Can I see the purple one?
Can I see the...
No, but I get real specific. I was like, show me 444. And on a...
Not 444.
No, 1111. Show me this on a billboard, but the background is blue. And I was like, I know it's for me. Like, I get real specific.
Look, and he will be specific back to you if you're specific to him.
Or I think sometimes he laughs at us. Because I know for me, I get laughed at all the time. I just know he has a great sense of humor because he's just like, it's right there. I'm like, yeah, but that's not the one. Or the two.
Exactly. I'm looking for the 3 though. See, so yeah, when it comes to quitting, there are a few things I had to quit. And being understanding. I don't know if you've seen on IG.
I had to stop that.
Yeah, I'm not being understanding anymore.
Oh, to these niggas.
Yeah, that's what.
Hair flip. Okay, so roar.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
See you.
Oh my God.
Yeah. To them.
So, but
I had to stop being understanding.
They don't.
Is understanding a bad trait to be understanding?
To
understanding to what? Y'all just talking about men?
Oh, in this particular context,
Okay,
yes.
okay.
Yeah.
I'm like, understanding.
Being an understanding individual has gotten me far.
Yeah.
And it goes well with like keeping important relationships, good relationships.
Mm-hmm.
But in my experience, the men that I have been understanding toward will literally try to see how much I can understand.
Oh.
Mm-hmm.
I'm done understanding.
That part.
I know nothing anymore.
No comprehending.
I can't comprehend nothing. What do you mean? I'm not with it.
Well, why are you
no habla inglés.
Easy.
Well, my thing, you said they're trying to see
how much I can understand, how far he can go.
So now he's your professor.
I guess. I'm not trying to learn whatever
you're trying to teach me.
I'm not trying to learn whatever you're trying to teach me. I don't do that. I don't understand this.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not the Lena, so you're not coming to teach me.
And you really got like one time for me to be like now. Excuse me. I was very forgiving, very understanding before. 2023, I'm not so much.
There's nothing wrong with that.
I don't like that. Fix it, or I'm not here no more. Like that's it.
Yeah, I can agree with that. 2023 has been a lot about relearning what my boundaries are.
Yeah,
what I
and setting them like
cannot tolerate.
I don't get that. No.
And that context is okay. Like, my thing is, I don't want you to be, at least I don't want women or people to feel like they can no longer be understanding. Because there's going to come a time where you're going to have to be understanding even to the one that you want.
Understand these nuts. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
You walked into.
I'm so
like, I feel like even like, yes, you do need to set those boundaries. Exactly what Courtney said. You do need to set those boundaries. And I also think that you don't want to set boundaries so hard to where you're
rigid.
You're rigid. You're very like stiff when it comes to your answer. You're not responsive. You don't want to push people away.
Yeah.
You don't want to push people away. And that, of course, that takes time. It is a part of growth. I feel like as adults, as we get older, we realize, okay, this is what I like. This is what I dislike. And it's honestly it's going to come down to a place where the person that you're with, that you're equally yoked with, will receive that part of you, you know. But I think that, yes, to your point, when they're trying to see how far you can understand, you now have to ask yourself, is this valuable? Am I gaining anything from this? Is that person gaining? Well, at least they think they're gaining something from it.
No, they'll gain if if I am being as understanding if they want me. Like it's only working out in his favor because now at the end of the day, I'm not really happy with what I guess compromised with. Like this is what did I get out of this? Because the compromise is supposed to kind of work for both parties. This does not work for me. And I would like for it to work for the both of us. So let's find something that works for the both of us. And
you would like for it to work for both of us. So I can okay.
It's a compromise, ain't it?
Well, you would like that. It's a compromise if both of y'all agree. If you're saying that he's trying to see how far you can understand.
What am I trying to
He's
understand?
it's just I don't even want to get into it. It's fine. It's not even about that right now.
Yeah, it's okay. It's okay.
You get it though.
Okay. But I understand where you're coming from, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
If that makes sense. Yeah. I mean, this year, I guess, what are you guys taking with you next year? That you feel like, you know what, that can come in my luggage.
I'm taking
that can come in the Louis luggage.
What Nana said, how she's just going, like she takes what makes her happy. She does what makes her happy. Like going out to just do it. Because I feel like I've kind of become somebody who kind of does coast. And, accept kind of, what life has brought to me. I can't control a thing. But honestly, you can control something. You can't. So I'm about to just start. I want that. And I'm going to go do it. I'm going to put action behind doing and getting most of the things that I want. And
you
then
control your response.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then if it does not work out for me, then we can figure that out from there. But in the meantime, I'm going to put action behind that. Because I'm tired of kind of waiting for certain stuff to work out in my favor. And I don't have to wait for it. I probably could just go get it.
You said you got you a new whip, right?
I did.
She did.
Exactly.
I did.
I did. And I waited for it. I mean, I had been talking about getting a new car for 2-3 years at that point. And me and my mother just went and got it. Let's just go get it. And so, and I was waiting for, I don't even know what I was waiting on.
And when we sit back and think, we're like, what the fuck was I waiting for?
I have no idea. But no, yeah, that's how I'm kind of going to do a lot of things. And I'm also just going to, if I don't want to do something, I'm just not going to do it. Now, I did say I'm leaving high school. I don't want to be there. I don't want to be there. And I don't want to be at this high school either. I don't want to be there. I'm leaving. And there'll be many times I think okay, so what about, my students? What about the cheerleaders? I love them.
Girl, fuck them kids.
Fuck them.
Okay,
fuck them.
I really feel it in my heart.
I'm finna go. I do love education, so I am just gonna try another school. And of course, I've been talking about getting my master's for a really, really for a very long time now.
Yeah.
And I've been working in taking classes here and there where I should, and then I meet a wall, and then kind of just fall back a little bit. Next year, no, I'm beating down these walls real quick because I want that master's. I'm tired of talking about it. I'm just gonna go get it. I don't know how I'm gonna pay for it. Nor do I care.
Oh, don't worry about that.
Nor do I care.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna go get it. I'm gonna get it.
What I do advise you say, and this is something just say, I don't know how I'm gonna pay for it, but I'm not taking student loans because you don't know what grants, you don't know what scholarships might come out the woodworks that apply to you. So just go ahead and throw that in your rhetoric, throw that in your pocket because
so I take student loans.
Yeah, if you as little as possible because the way them student loans hit my checking account.
I don't want to talk about my MBA.
Yeah, but you got a car.
Yeah.
Because you got up and got it.
Yeah.
And
that was the same thing with my apartment. Granted, I've been in this apartment for 3 years. But the one time that I did just get up, go, find, apply, I got it. So I think that's what I'm going to do more. It's just putting action towards a lot of things that I want. I'm just going to go get it. I'm going to go make this happen for myself. And then if it does not happen, we'll figure it out. But at least I can say I didn't sit down and wait for it.
Yeah.
And
No need to know
what
the
I want.
details. No need to know the details. What about y'all?
So I don't make plans anymore. I pretty much stuck to that, and I just had to do with self evals where I was like, wow, Nana is such an amazing person. She brings a real vibe to the weekly meetings. Y'all really can't do without her. I play too much. I actually need to go revise that. But the book that I have, like I said, everything I've written has happened to where I'm like, okay, I said I wanted a 730 credit score. I got that.
730.
7:30.
I said I wanted my couch to look like this. I wanted it to be 131 inches it's now 148. But everything I've written down, it's happened. So what I want to do next year is be more, I say it all, cognizant about the words I speak. I want to be more, I want to focus on the words I say because what is my favorite one so far? Proverbs 10:22, the blessing of the Lord brings wealth without the painful toil for it, which that's NIV, but New King James is the blessing of the Lord brings happiness with no sorrow, something to that point. And Isaiah 55:11, so is my word that goes from my mouth. It will not return empty to me. So being very mindful about the things I say, because I used to say all the time, I got an icebox where my heart used to be. And really, after a while, when I went to Ghana one year, one of my big cousins was like, Nana, as nice as you are so cold. Someone I've never met is telling me that I'm cold. Words we say have power. Our thoughts have power. And as vibrant and as like talkative and gregarious as I seem right now, the chokehold of depression, I really would like to come out of it because I don't want to be the reason that my friends are sad or scared that I might do something. So I am looking to get a therapist to help me navigate because I'm very self-aware. I know why I'm sad. But what am I doing to not be sad?
Wow.
I love therapy. I love my therapist gives me worksheets all the time, and I went through. She's my third therapist because the other ones they were cool, they were great, but I needed that actionable. I needed somebody to give
hold you accountable.
Yes, and like I can do my self-reflection worksheets. I can do because I believe too. I'm very self-aware. I know why I'm upset. I know what got me down. I know why I'm sad. I know why I'm in this cloud. But like when things arise, I needed more in my toolkit on how to get out of it in that moment and not just reflect on it later. Like if this is happening to me right now, what do I need to do right now
to get me past it?
Yeah. And so, I thank God for her because she came in. So yes.
I like that she said that you had 3 therapists because I think a lot of us don't think that people think we got to stick to one choice, one solution. No, we got too many options in this country for us to stick to one.
Everybody's different too. Like the therapists are not one size fit all. They are not, Old Navy sandals. Like
it's not
right.
You gotta fit one that fits for your lifestyle and what you need and what you're looking for. I know me and my type A personality. I need a worksheet. I need homework.
Yeah.
I need you to give me a task. You can't just tell me something and be like, okay, this is why you're feeling this way. That's just gonna stick. It's not. I don't work like that.
No.
So,
when I did group therapy in Seattle, I remember it would be like Thursday, Friday when we go in and we'd have an actual worksheet where we talk about sleep hygiene, actual hygiene, and what our plan is for the weekend to where, what time are you going to wake up? And I was like, noon. She said, no, 10. Okay, 10. So what are we going to do here? Are we going to do laundry from this time to this time? And we would actually map out our days. So when we came back Monday and we like discussed it, it's like, hey, so how many of the things were you able to achieve? Not get done, but achieve, because it gave us a sense of purpose. Because being so despondent, you feel isolated and you feel like nobody cares. But granted, I had a bunch of people in Houston who cared. It's just that I was in Seattle by myself And I was like, well, nobody cares. So does it matter if I stick around? I don't think so. So yeah, that I love worksheets.
Yeah, you guys said some like heavy things. I think in 2024 we all need to realize it, I guess in conclusion, is that, we're human, we're people, we can say no, and we have to be okay with change. Most importantly, it will not always be perfect. And some of the things that we want for next year probably won't happen. And that's okay too. It doesn't mean that we shouldn't have hope. It doesn't mean that we shouldn't still choose joy, because I guarantee you guys, there are the things that you want, the things that you do want could happen next year. It may not go your way, and be okay with that. Be okay. It's not because you did something wrong. Everything is not connected to the sins that you think that you committed. Sometimes it's just not time. Sometimes it's just not time, and that is okay.
That is perfectly fine. Divine timing.
It is totally okay. So whatever change that y'all plan on making next year, do it, even if you don't want to do it.
I know, right? Boy, what were you gonna take with you for next year?
See, that's the thing. I do not know.
That's okay.
That's okay.
I do not know. I'm in a transitional phase right now where I feel like, okay, coming out of last year, heal. I threw myself into like therapy, healing journey, meditation, yoga, Pilates, all this stuff. Wellness, trying to get my body right. I lost 30 pounds. Like,
you was thick?
I was big.
No, she wasn't.
I don't believe you, but say what you will.
No, I really did. I lost a lot of weight.
No, I'm happy for you.
I think in the time it didn't look like I weighed so much until I lost it, and it was like, oh wow, that's skinny. Okay, what was I saying? I was saying, okay, so that I was in that phase at the beginning of this year. Then I bought the house in February, so I threw myself into that. I got laid off from work, and so I had to find a new job. Got a new job, great job, love it.
Okay.
Threw myself into that, and so now I'm finally in the place where everything is balancing itself out, and I'm not transitioning to anything. Nothing is changing right now for me. I'm just chilling. I'm real soft girl right now.
That's
Rest in that.
That's my favorite song. Soft girl. I love that song.
That's okay. I feel like you should rest in that. Don't do anything further than what you have going on if you don't have to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I do feel like when the end of the year, December comes, there is that pressure of what are you going to do next year? How are you going to better yourself, better your life? I'm I'm chilling. You said what?
When is your birthday?
April 24th. I'm a Taurus.
Okay. No, I was going to say, because I don't let the pressure of December, New Year's, whatever, hit me. If anything, I'll be like, look, I'm coasting to my birthday. I figure things out by year. So right now, it's not even a 2023 thing for me. I was 29.
So you're saying there's 2 years and 1 year for you. There's the new year and there's or you count the birthday year.
I count my birthday year as my new year.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I'm
that
more
makes
so,
sense too.
I feel that.
And then if we do any New Year's type planning, it's more of just me thinking okay, how do I want to approach 30?
Okay.
So
when's your birthday?
March 13th.
Okay, cool.
And it's very easy because okay.
That's my mom's birthday.
I knew see there was something there.
Yeah.
There was something there. I knew it. Okay. It was something. But you said April what?
You said what?
April what?
April 24th.
That's Joyce's birthday. No, wait. Oh, Joyce is 25.
Yeah, she's 25.
Joyce is my favorite, my sister cousin. But okay. But
And Rece is what, your brother cousin? I'm sorry.
No, but most of the time I don't let the pressure of New Year's and letting everybody come up with these resolutions for December 31st, January 1st, what you want. But how do you want as you turn to a new age, how do you want that age to go? How do you want that year to go? And so that's what I do. My new year is March 13th. It's not March, January 1st.
No, I feel that. I like
good.
that.
I'm gonna start doing that.
And so I'll use January 1st to kind of start setting the pace.
Mm-hmm.
And then by 30, hopefully I've gained a habit at least one habit that I wanted to continue.
Okay.
That's what I'll do.
I need to stretch more. That should be my habit. I'll be stiff.
Oh, I do have weak hip flexors. I need to really work. I see. I understand that fully.
I got till April to figure that out. Now at this point,
I think for me, I just need to execute. I think that's my biggest thing for 2024 is execution. And it's gonna be scary, but it's like it's necessary and it's time. You know, the things that I'm trying to execute would have not all of it needs to be executed this year. Yeah. And I honestly, I'm grateful to see that it's been put into quarters and different parts where there's things that you asked for in 2022 that happened in 2022 and 23. And then something in your gut is like, okay, now it's time. Like, I'm okay with that now. I used to not be okay with that. I used to, people that know me personally know that I can do 10 things at one time. I can be in 10 places at one time. And now being able to discern and unplug and say, nope, I don't need to do this. Oh, no, not right now. It allows me to execute on the things that are most important in that particular season and that quarter. So I think that's what my 24 is going to look like. That's pretty much what it is.
You already started executing.
Yeah.
Look at us.
Look.
You already started.
I know that's right. That was very encouraging.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
You did it.
No, but I appreciate y'all for being on this first episode and just being here and inviting us to your vulnerability, because let me tell you, people be like pressing for people to talk and pressing for people to do stuff. I'm like, they didn't invite you to that.
Yeah.
They did not. I feel like that, and that's with any relationship that y'all have. If you did not give that invitation, you don't have to speak up. You don't have to. Like, it's not by force. It is by choice. And even if you have to read the room, I don't know if guys probably would have walked up in here and be like, I'm looking at the room. I don't know if I could have did this. I would have been like, okay. Okay. Because I want you to feel safe, not me. I'm okay. That's why I asked y'all to be here. That's why we started this. But I'm so grateful for you guys. Y'all are so amazing. Thank you.
It was a pleasure meeting y'all.
Yeah.
Nice meeting y'all too. This was fun.
When I hear about Rece talk about the people that she knows, and then I see them in real life, I'm like, oh, so you're the character in Rece's story. You're her cousin who did this. Okay.
Well, guys, this is the end of the first episode.
Okay. Yeah.
And Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
No, you what?
I was like, girl,
Why would you? For real though.
She said Happy New Year. Fuck out of here.